Hello, folks. This is Psychic Underlord from psychicunderlord.com and psychicunderlord.shop. Been a quiet week or so. It's been a lot happening. Very amazing things are occurring. We just heard that the CEO of the largest health insurer in the world was assassinated. And I wanted to give a spiritual post. Um, Nothing sensational about this. But I want to say that I have met Luigi Mangione many times. And I would say that he's a brilliant person. He was extremely popular. Everyone loved him. Everyone called him. They called him Ouija. And this, is, of course, is over 10 years ago. Uh, Never in a million years would you picture the valedictorian of any high school in America um, ever going down this path, but you have people that take paths that are chosen for them. And in this time of great awakening, the surprising part is that you cannot predict, based upon the world system, how people are going to wash through the system. Because ultimately, there are many different influences in the world system. It's not just one thing that people are exposed to, and this becomes the dominant thing. You can have someone and send them through high school and put them with, they're all with the perfect crowd, the perfect people, and the chaperones and the families are all the same socioeconomic status and all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, they meet one person at a liquor store, a homeless person. Now they're running through town with this drug addicted person who is so far away from what they would have expected uh, of them. You know, the expectations that society puts on people who they're supposed to become is not always um, what people choose to do. But at a higher level, people are saying that this is insane because he took the law into his own hands to assassinate the CEO, but also to be privy to such information and movements of an individual, of a schedule, of an itinerary of such a high ranking person. This was an inside job. This was not something that a person just because he's smart. I mean, you don't become the director of schools for Stanford with no credentials. You don't get signed off in any college. He didn't have to take a remedial math class, a remedial reading class, like the other 90% of people struggling to try to figure out how do I piece together a better life with higher education that systemically is designed to feed into those who are best prepared and to allow them the opportunities while the other ones just simply flounder, drop out. You have a very high dropout rate. He didn't drop out at all. He went for bachelor's, masters of computer science. What? How in the world do you go from I'm a bachelor's of computer science biotech, just a high level, all this stuff, and then you say that you would put yourself at risk to be arrested? At 26 years old, here's another cosmic part of it. There is a sign that comes from pain. Pain, the assumption that I haven't seen the full reports, but they said that there was a picture of a back with pins in it, surgically emplaced. A lot of times, pain is the compass leading you toward your daily living concept at psychicunderlord.shop. The pain that people experience is something that informs them. Why am I having back pain? One of the most popular forms of pain that people experience. It's near the center of our gravity, it's near the nexus of the femur and the hips and the pelvis, which are the largest bones in the body, the heaviest bones in our body. And then you have these millions and millions of people experiencing pain in the exact same place, pain in your back. Many times people experience that because there's a calling, a spiritual calling that they're not receiving to release density. The density that comes after 2012 must have a lighter concept of what it is, of how it's weighed on the body. There's pressure there, pressure. And then on top of that, you have movement, kinetic movement that happens through the gait of the body, through the way that the body naturally moves, of what you're exposed to, whether you sit a lot, whether you're more active. We have a society that is money focused. So, of course, to make money, people have to stand still and sit still, and they have to utilize uh, chairs and things that put compression on the spine, sciatica, all these type of things. These are spiritual pains that are coming to the person to tell them to get up and move and allow the earth to transmute these feelings, these sensations, these confinements into something productive. I don't know if it was him. I know that there was discussion in social media about his parents and family, and seeing someone struggle like this, seeing someone who has been capable their whole life, hardworking people, struggle with pain. And they struggle with a lot of different types of issues. And when they are under the surgical knife and they go into the process of uh, having surgically things removed or replaced or shifted within the body, but the mind is not connected to the healing process and they disconnect the mind, it often creates more pain because there's no higher intelligence than within your own mind, your own higher self, the information that you receive. And sometimes when people receive information from the higher self, they don't want to believe it, they don't want to hear it. I'd rather just get the surgery because it's faster without uh, realizing that 50% of the healing is going to be you without anyone there else in the room. So, taking responsibility, people don't want to take responsibility for their own bodies. They don't want to take responsibility for their own thoughts. They want someone to put something in front of me to reinforce what I'm supposed to believe. So, these are perceived as the strongest people in society. Those people who can work overtime every day and deny their acid reflux, deny the fact that their marriage is falling apart, deny the fact that their family and children are out of control because they're no longer in a picture because they're so obsessed with money. And they rationalize that by having more money, we have more security. Well, meanwhile, all the decisions they've made have been wrong up to this point. Maybe they weren't supposed to have children. Maybe they weren't supposed to get married. Maybe they weren't supposed to have this kind of job. So there's no preponderance of anything that's supposed to be done in a righteous manner. They're not willing to reposition themselves. So as the world turns, as the Great Awakening of 2012 occurs, as all of these aspects and elements around them are shifting, they double down in their cantankerous manner to make things become the way that they're supposed to be, but it's out of season. So they take on jobs that they were not supposed to have. They meet people to anesthetize their loneliness and have sex with people they're not supposed to have sex with. They have children and they say, oh, everything is right as long as I'm able to do it. But that is the cosmic trap. That is the nail in the coffin for people to pursue without any type of preponderance. So let's look at all the millions of people who are suffering from illnesses and diseases. Now, the hospital, if you say something against the hospital, we're talking against money. So let's say this: Hospitals do resolve people's medical problems, but many of those people continuously will have them for the rest of their life. Not because they can't get well, it's just because they don't know how to get well. And they won't take the commitment to be able to work with a different paradigm and question why they're in pain in the first place. Why are they struggling right now? There's psychic rituals on my page that deal with different aspects. I remember when I started on Facebook 15, 20 years ago, I had a natural healing group. And do you know that Facebook blocked my group? They would not allow it. So I had to recognize that in this new world, as a young person, being enlightened, being shown different ways that people can support their own healing, I also had gone through back pain. So I had a whole back channel that I removed and deleted every video because I did not want to relive the the depth of knowledge that I was hearing. Only thing because I was routing people to the door. I removed it all. And it was quite popular back in 2000, let's say 2012, 13, 14 or so. And I realized, I said, you know what? All they need is that door. If they go through the door of the spirit, there is a thoroughfare. But there is also at that door the destruction of everything that they've ever known. So we can't push people to pursue things that they're not ready to pursue. Um, and people say, well, as a 26-year-old person, you have your whole life ahead of you. You're so driven by success. But the spiritual triage that he's entering and the righteous indignation that he has in killing, I'm quite sure that a master's of computer science emeritus, uh, a designee of Brown University, living, owning homes in Hawaii, 26 years old. You got two 50-year-old people trying to figure out how to buy a house and take a class, and that's the freaking biggest step they've ever taken in their life. And this dude is freaking buying a house on the island that is uh, pretty much separated itself from the United States. And then he works here, is making money here, making money there, six figures. What type of world are we living in where a person like that has no background information? That now there are people like that. I would just say that in meeting him, knowing him for an extended period of time, let's say for an extended period of time, maybe a year, year and a half, um, to meet a person, share uh, moments with them, share smiles with them. Very little, very little in depth of anything, but just a positive uh, experience that we can say that, how you have a person you meet in your life and you say, well, I think we've had a positive interaction with, I know that person by face. Hey, how are you? Um, of course, it's been many, many years, but I knew instantly when I saw that face, I said, this is, this is Ouija. This is the most popular person. And this is a wise, very kind person, very strong leadership. These are how people, so we didn't fail in creating people. We just have to recognize that we discounted the spiritual aspects that turn on in people may manifest post 2012 in a different manner that we're not accustomed to seeing. Justice, righteousness, all this stuff is already here. This is why we're going, but see, we're not used to cheering for the people that have had justice put upon them. We're used to agreeing and saying yes, they should be arrested, they should be thrown in jail. And this is what's been happening all this time, all these people dying, all these people being killed. He's not a pop culture figure until now, but he basically sits among uh, some of the most prestigious killers in the history of the world at this point. We're talking about Timothy McVeigh, the Unabomber, the DC Sniper. You have Luigi Mangione, prestigious, because this is absolutely what we have created, and it's manifested in this way. Sadly, for the family of the CEO who lost this person in their life, just like everyone else. You have 15, 20 murders on a weekend, and they don't even get 5 minutes of airtime because we don't care about these people. They haven't done anything great. So we look for stuff like this and we say, well, how could this be? Because so you're doing the same thing. So now it's just a mirror of the dissension into chaos. And at this time, you need protection from the chaos energies. I have the rituals on my website, psychicunderlord.shop. You have to separate yourself spiritually. And I've designed this so that you don't have to go through the process where for you to get justice or for you to feel that the world is right, that you have to go and take stuff into your own hands like this. There are people that need to be separated from you, to be removed from you. Things that are not right that need to be cleansed out of your life. Situations that need to be managed, moving away, getting away from a person, putting them on no contact, protecting your children while they are out independently doing things, harnessing things upon their minds, psychic rituals that will protect them. This is a real lifestyle. And as you walk into this new world, you're going to need understanding of the lifestyle in this transit period. We don't know how long this transition is because this is a global transition. And since it's natural and beautiful, it's connected to the precession of the earth, and the earth is timeless. So the concept is that you have to be girded, you have to be protected while the earth moves and shakes and does what it's going to do. Because there's not going to be, when you got millions and billions of people that have subscribed to becoming doctorate of divinity, and this is how they move in the world. So now I've collegiately decided my spiritual position in the world over top of people, because this is how we receive position. You receive position in order to administer over others. So that person may be missing the fact that the divine earth has been calling, that the creator has been calling as they process 5, 10, 15 different surgeries in secret. Most people's health care is a secret. They're secretly dying of cancer. They're secretly going through all kinds of medical institutions, mental uh, things that no one knows about, but they medicate themselves and everything is all right, everything is confidential. But when are these people going to be able to respond to the fact that they have to take responsibility in some things and with their spiritual lives, definitely? So we'll talk about all these different things on the website, but my I would say to the family of Luigi Mangione that I'm very sorry to hear this. I'm sure that you quite are uh, maybe embarrassed. You've all done the right thing. All the friends of Luigi Mangione, you've done the right thing. He didn't live to just become some type of laughing stock. I believe the world has produced something great. And whether or not he went as high in this time as he was supposed to go or to become the person he was supposed to be, he's definitely, uh, from my experience with him, he definitely was one person that makes you put your chin a little higher and to smile a little wider. So I appreciate you all, and you all are going through a lot, especially the people who have worked with him in schools, because all of you have these children around you for an extended period of time. And we have to recognize that there are way more influences than ourselves. But don't stop giving your best. Don't stop being your best as a role model and as an individual that can make a positive impact on people. So I will talk to you guys soon, and visit my website at psychicunderlord.shop.